Hi, I'm Holly Johnston, a garden designer, and I designed the Bridgerton Garden at last year's 2024 Chelsea Flower Show. And we've just relocated that garden to Cambridge University Hospitals. So I'm here today to take you through it. So we've been really lucky to find this location at Cambridge University Hospitals. It is the perfect spot, just both in size and shape. And we have updated it a little bit to be a bit more appropriate for the hospital grounds, but we've kept the story intact. And the original story is this narrative about this one woman's journey as she comes from the shadows and steps into the light. And so half the garden is, after the moon gate, divided into this more shaded space. And that's representative of her being a wallflower, being a little bit more unnoticed in society and the secrets she holds. And then there is this transition once you get to the back with this gorgeous sculptural piece designed by this amazing sculptor who hand carved it out of a single piece of sandstone. And that is a bit of the step change where the planting goes from shaded and a bit more secretive into a fully bloom distinguished colour of mauves and purples and romantic pinks to be very representative of that Bridgerton world. And so we've updated that a little bit to be very hospital friendly with the planting, a little bit more lower maintenance, but it still holds that narrative of darker times paired with moments of jubilation and joy in those more colourful areas. So a key feature of this garden has always been this beautiful moon gate. The moon gate acts as a portal, so it's this idea that once you step through into this really comfortable, safe zone beyond, and it's meant to be a welcoming point. This in particular is made out of beautiful limestone from Mandale Quarry, which is up near the Chatsworth area, so English stone, and it has this gorgeous patina to it. We've got it through here and inside the garden, and it's got beautiful fossils in it. The curve of the circle is echoed with the garden beyond. So it's actually, while the planting is quite loose and whimsical, the design is actually quite geometrical. So we've got this rounded point here, a curved path, and then the rounded seating area beyond. And that was to feel quite feminine. It is a feminine garden. It was designed around this character of this woman as she evolved in a very feminine story. So the geometry is very strong throughout, but the romance of the curves really indicate the softness of the femininity within. This moongate was built by a really talented team, Lewin Clegg and his team from Natural by Design. They are a Yorkshire-based team, and I worked with them through Chelsea, and they were thrilled to come back down here to the hospital and rebuild it again. So they've put it back together piece by piece, stone by stone, and we're thrilled to have it as the welcoming point for the garden once more. So I'm now seated in the central seating area of the garden, which is this beautiful stone circular area, again echoing the circles of the moon gate. And currently I'm sitting on the shaded side underneath this beautiful Ulmus minor tuberosa, which is a dwarf elm. They're very interesting for their corky bark, quite unique, quite... It's got an unusual habit, which I wanted to reflect this idea of imperfection, but the beauty in it. And so on this side, we've got plenty of shade-loving perennials and shrubs, lots of ferns, lots of grasses. And this side is for me, I wanted it to feel like a safe space where this one character could come and have a moment of reprieve and write the secrets of the ton. But equally now in this environment, it is a space where people, patients and staff alike, can come out, take a moment, find some calm. So in the centre of the garden, we have this beautiful, opulent, over-the-top, three-tiered water feature, which is very indicative of the Regency age. On the top, we have this carved pineapple, which is very much a feature of that time where it was seen as an extravagance from overseas. So that ties in beautifully with the original story. And the fountain itself is actually nearly 100 years old. We reclaimed this. This was once in a beautiful English garden itself. So in the next few years, it will hit 100 years old, and it's out of the same sandstone that the copings and our Lady Whistledown feature at the end is out of. The planting in this garden is a real mix of formality to be representative of the age that it was created after, and then quite romantic, whimsical planting as well. And over this side, it is very much green and white. We know that's a very cooling kind of environment. So again, that reflects this notion that you can come out here and just have a moment of peace. So I'm currently sitting on one of the limestone stone benches, and these are cantilevered into the stone wall. So they look like they're floating, but they have a really characterful patina. And what's really beautiful is that when it rains or when they're wet, if you come in here, they will show up beautiful fossils, and they are the same stone that's used on the moon gate and around this area as well. So it all ties in beautifully. So one of my favourite features in the garden is this stone sculpture. And it's a nod to Lady Whistledown for all our Bridgerton fans. And if you're not, it's just a really beautiful piece. It is carved out of a single piece of sandstone. It's quite unique. It's not a wall fountain. It's not a monolith. It's something in between that we just came up with. And he carved this from a single piece of rock. So it took him weeks to do, especially on the inside of this bowl, which is a very, very hard access point. But slowly and surely he carved it. Love how it's already started to patina, and over time it will take on its own kind of aging style as well. And a couple of features of this is, of course, the Lady Whistledown motif, which was again carved by hand, and this quote which says, "Even a wallflower can bloom." And that was the whole crux of the garden, was this idea that even through times of hardship or moments where you haven't been sure of your confidence or you haven't found your way, it's this idea that you can come from the shadows and into the light and kind of shrug off the opinions of society or move through that moment of trial. And we hope that gives comfort to the people and the patients and the staff that will use this garden as well, and that they know that if it is a moment that they're struggling with, that too shall pass.